Just got to Tel Aviv, Jaffa, and I'm going to meet one of my friends. He's also a tour guide. He lives in the old town, and we're going to have a short walk and visit the most important sites in Jaffa. Our first stop will be next to the clock tower. So I just got to the area of the clock tower, one of the main highlights of the city of Jaffa. It was built during the time of Sultan Abdul Hamid II in the early 20th century.
Action.
Okay, so right now we're standing next to the Sabil. Sabil in Arabic means a place where you can drink water. Every single Sabil that was built during the Muslim period or the Ottoman Empire were located outside cities. And the reason is gates of cities were closed at night. So those who did not make it to the city before the guards closed the gates had a place to stay and water to drink. Okay, so we managed to enter the Mahmudiyah Mosque, and right now we're next to Mutahhara. Mutahhara is a place where Muslims cleanse themselves 5 times a day before prayers. So the reason why I'm filming this Mutahhara is because it looks like the Dome of the Rock in Jerusalem. So we'll continue now our tour in the mosque. My friend will explain to us a couple of interesting things about the architecture in a minute. We were given permission from the Sheikh of the Mahmudiyah Mosque to enter the mosque itself. And when we went inside, he started telling us information about Islam, how Muslims believe in all religions, all prophets, and so on. What we found, me and my friend, unique are the names of prophets inside the mosque. Over here we can see Jesus. Opposite to Jesus, we have Moses. Next to Moses on the other side, we have God. And next to God to the left, we have Muhammad. Okay, so we're still inside the mosque. Over here you can see the timetable for prayers. Muslims do pray 5 times a day. This is where the Sheikh stands when they start praying. And this is the bima where he preaches on Fridays. Let's not forget that Friday is the holiday for the Muslims. Friday means Jum'ah. Jum'ah means to gather. So Muslims gather and pray. So we will now leave the mosque and head to our next destination. So we're right now in the Kidumim Square. Back then it was probably the center of the city. We had the Agora, which means a market. And over here below the ground, we have a museum with the artifacts that were found during the excavations in Jaffa. Behind me you can see the clock tower. The clock tower belongs to the Church of St. Peter, one of few churches that point on west, not east. We'll talk about this a little bit later, and now we'll continue our tour towards the house of Simon the Tanner. Okay, so we're right now standing at the entrance to the house of Simon the Tanner. If we go back to the scripture, to the book of Acts chapter 10, we read about the dream of St. Peter. And we read about the soldiers who came and took St. Peter to Cornelius in Caesarea. This is according, of course, to tradition where everything took place. This is where Gentiles were welcomed to Christianity. On this side you can see the old city. And on that side, you'll be able to see Tel Aviv. Now standing next to the last orange tree in Jaffa. We all know the Jaffa oranges. You can find them in the US, all around Europe and so on. When people wanted to leave the city walls and started building neighborhoods outside, they started cutting down the Jaffa orange trees. And this one you can see even it's separated from its roots. This is the last Jaffa orange tree in Jaffa. So we are right now at the highest point in Jaffa, overlooking the city of Tel Aviv, a city that was built in 1909 and was called back then Ahuzat Bait. But before 1909, people started leaving Jaffa and they started establishing neighborhoods outside the city walls. The first neighborhood to be established was Neve Tzedek. And as I said before, in the 1950s, both municipalities were merged together. And this is the reason why you read everywhere on all signs, Google and so on, you read Tel Aviv Jaffa, not Tel Aviv and not Jaffa alone. Tel Aviv is the economical capital of the country. Different culture, like I'm from Jerusalem. When I come here, I feel that I'm in another country. And most of the tourists that stay in Tel Aviv feel the same. Way different than Jerusalem. A city that doesn't sleep. If you look over here, I'm holding a map from 1600. You can see the fortification of Jaffa, you can see how active the port of Jaffa was, and you can see an active mosque. The name of the mosque is the Mosque of the Sea, Masjid or Jami' al-Bahar.